Get rich now does not mean chasing shortcuts or hoping for luck. It means understanding that money responds to behavior, not wishes. Wealth moves toward clarity, discipline, and value. The moment you stop seeing money as something mysterious and start seeing it as something learnable, your relationship with it changes. Most people are not poor because they are lazy. They are poor because they were trained to think small. They were taught to survive, not to build. They were taught to comply, not to create. This conditioning runs deep, and unless it is questioned, it quietly dictates every financial outcome. Money is a mirror. It reflects habits. It reflects priorities. It reflects self-belief. When someone says they want more money but keeps the same routines, the same fears, and the same distractions, the mirror never changes. Getting rich now begins with brutal honesty. Where are you actually spending your time? Where is your money actually going? What do you repeatedly avoid? What do you repeatedly justify? Awareness alone can feel uncomfortable, but avoidance is far more expensive. Most people underestimate how fast life compounds. Small decisions feel harmless in the moment. Skipping learning today, spending instead of investing, choosing comfort over progress. But time multiplies whatever you repeat. This is why direction matters more than speed. You do not need a perfect plan. You need momentum. Motion creates clarity. Action exposes what works and what doesn't. Waiting to feel ready is a form of procrastination disguised as responsibility. Money does not reward effort, it rewards usefulness. You can work very hard at the wrong thing and remain broke. You can work intelligently at the right thing and progress quickly. Effort without leverage is exhausting. Leverage without effort is rare. The combination creates wealth. The wealthy focus on skills that scale: communication, sales, problem solving, systems thinking. These skills do not expire. They compound. They transfer across industries. They increase your value regardless of the economy. If your income depends only on your presence, your ceiling is low. If your income depends on systems, assets, or distribution, your ceiling rises. Rich people build once and benefit repeatedly. Poor people rebuild every day. Fear is not the enemy. Confusion is. Fear can be managed. Confusion keeps people stuck. Clear goals reduce fear because they reduce uncertainty. When you know what you are building, discomfort becomes tolerable. Most people try to reduce risk by avoiding action. In reality, this increases risk. Inflation, skill decay, and missed opportunity silently erode the future. The biggest risk is standing still while the world moves forward. Money rewards speed, but not haste. Speed means deciding quickly and adjusting quickly. Haste means acting blindly. The wealthy are decisive, not reckless. They gather enough information, then move. You do not need to know everything about money. You need to know enough to avoid obvious mistakes and enough to act intelligently. Perfection is not required. Participation is. Your beliefs about money were not chosen by you. They were absorbed from parents, from school, from culture. Questioning those beliefs is not betrayal. It is maturity. Many people secretly believe money will change them for the worse. This belief pushes wealth away. In reality, money does not create character. It reveals it. Avoiding money does not make you virtuous. It makes you limited. Time is the only resource that never replenishes. Money can be earned again. Time cannot. Every dollar should either save time, create time, or multiply time. If it does none of these, question the expense. Rich people do not think in paychecks. They think in outcomes. They think in systems. They think in long arcs. Poor people think in bills. The difference is not intelligence, it is perspective. You cannot out-earn poor money habits. High income with low discipline still leads to stress. Wealth is what remains after spending. It is not what comes in. Control always precedes abundance. One of the fastest ways to improve finances is to reduce unnecessary complexity. Too many subscriptions, too many distractions, too many commitments. Simplicity creates focus. Focus creates progress. The world pays generously for solutions to painful problems. The more painful the problem, the higher the value. Complaining about money while avoiding problems is a contradiction. You do not need to invent something revolutionary. You need to solve something real, better, faster, simpler. Clear value beats clever ideas every time. Most people are one skill away from doubling their income. Usually that skill is selling. Selling is not manipulation, it is communication. It is helping people understand value. Avoiding sales limits impact. Rich people are comfortable being misunderstood in the short term. Poor people prioritize approval. Approval does not pay. Results do. Your environment shapes your ambition. If everyone around you complains, normalizes debt, and avoids growth, it becomes invisible. Change your inputs before you try to change your outputs. Money favors those who take responsibility. Responsibility is power. Blame is comfort. You cannot control the economy, but you can control your skills, habits, and decisions. You do not rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. Daily routines decide long-term outcomes. Build routines that make progress automatic. Learning is one of the highest return investments available. A single idea can pay dividends for decades. Refusing to learn because it costs money is one of the most expensive mistakes people make. Wealth grows quietly at first, slowly, invisibly. This phase feels unrewarding. Most people quit here. Those who don't look lucky later. Comparison is a distraction. Someone else's chapter 20 has nothing to do with your chapter 3. Focus on consistency, not position. Money is attracted to clarity. Be specific about what you want. Vague goals create vague results. Precision sharpens action. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. This is the difference between short-term pleasure and long-term freedom. Debt used for consumption steals future choices. Debt used for growth can expand them. The difference is education and intention. You cannot save your way to wealth alone, but you also cannot spend your way there. Both restraint and expansion are required. Income increases when value increases. Ask yourself daily how you can be more useful, more efficient, more impactful. Getting rich now means acting before you feel confident. Confidence follows action, not the other way around. The marketplace does not care about your excuses. It rewards outcomes. This is harsh but fair. Most people wait for permission to change their life. Permission is never granted. It is taken through action. Money is emotional for most people. Emotional decisions create inconsistent results. Calm, repeatable decisions build stability. Stress around money usually comes from lack of control, not lack of income. Control creates peace before wealth arrives. You do not need to escape discomfort. You need to get familiar with it. Growth always feels uncomfortable before it feels normal. Every hour you invest in building skills pays you back repeatedly. Every hour spent escaping delays, progress. The goal is not to work more. The goal is to work smarter, then less. Ownership changes everything. Owning assets, owning systems, owning your time. Renting your life limits freedom. Wealth is built by those who delay gratification longer than average and think longer term than average. The future rewards those who prepare quietly while others consume loudly. Your financial life will not improve accidentally. It improves by design. You do not need to impress anyone. You need to be effective. Money amplifies momentum. Build momentum first. The moment you take full responsibility, options expand. Small improvements compound faster than big intentions. Consistency beats intensity. Clarity beats motivation. Action beats planning. Progress beats perfection. Getting rich now is not about speed. It is about direction. Choose a direction today. Move, adjust, repeat. The path reveals itself to those who walk it. Money follows.